your host for today, and the other ones, and you really, most of them. So I guess you could call me the host with the most. Hey, Brooksy. Hey, Brooksy.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Mike from the Fantasy Footballers. Welcome to Sunday Live. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome into the best 20 to 30 minutes of live streamed internet you'll ever see, where we go over some last minute news, start sits. We all tilt together because, after all, in the fabric of life, we are all one. We all win and lose together, and we tilt together. Brooks, how are you doing this fine morning? Brooks just took the headset off. I apologize, Brooks, for making you try to interact with the show.
Doing great, Mike. Thanks for asking, buddy.
Thank you, Brooks. Brooks has apparently got some stuff to do. Let's start with the housekeeping. That's the old news. The old news ski. So the big news of the weekend is Melvin Gordon. Welcome back, Mr. Melvin Gordon. He's a few $1 million short, but he's going to be active today up against Miami. The reports have been all over the place from he's going to be the backup because Justin Jackson is out to he might be the only in a case of emergency. I expect Melvin Gordon to see at least a handful of touches, but I think it'll be more like the way that Austin Eckler is used, generally speaking. So just imagine the teeter-totter, the seesaw, if you will. But this week, it'll be Austin Eckler who is riding high, and Melvin Gordon will get a couple touches. Am I playing him? I'm really trying not to. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of Melvin Gordon questions, but I'm really trying not to. Damian Williams is out as expected. Devin Singletary, he is out, and it looked like he was going to try and sneak in. It makes Frank Gore a little safer. Gore is not a great play. I don't really want to play him at all. For example, I am playing Darryl Williams over Frank Gore just for the offense, just in hopes that that Darryl can do something. Other big news, T.Y. Hilton is out. Julian Edelman is in. Terry McLaurin is out. Scary Terry will be missing the week. And let's go to the other big piece of news to me. It's the Lions. It's the Lions offense. Matthew Stafford, he popped up late on the injury report with a hip problem. The reports are they're keeping two other quarterbacks active on today's roster, which maybe they're just being extra careful. That sucks a little bit for trying to read the tea leaves. And Danny Amendola, the safety blanket, is out. I am trying to pivot away from Matthew Stafford if I can. For example, my League of Record team, I have Josh Allen. I was going to stream Matthew Stafford over him. I'm probably going back to Josh Allen against that Patriots defense. I really don't want to. But so there's the news. I hope everyone's doing lovely this fine morning. And let's get into some of these questions. Terry R. says, DeMarcus Robinson or DJ Chark? I don't want to play Chark this week. It's been a real hot start. And DeMarcus Robinson, he's a weekly play, man. He's a weekly play until Tyreek gets back. Maybe he's a weekly play even after Tyreek Hill gets back. But I really like him. So someone said audio. Hopefully the audio is okay. I don't have Brooksy in here to tell me if it's okay. So hopefully it's good. All right. Navy G says LaShawn McCoy or Kenny Golladay. Ooh. So I guess the Stafford question then includes his weapons like Golladay and Marvin Jones. Do you pivot away from those guys against the Chiefs? I think I'm going to play LaShawn McCoy there. I'm going to take the known touches. LaShawn McCoy was upgraded to full. They said it was a better week of practice, an easier recovery period for LaShawn McCoy. He's expected to be a full go. Jason has let me know that the audio seems fine. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you. Oh, hey, Brooks. He's back from his little hole in the ground. Like a troll over there. I don't know where you go. I don't know where you come from, Brooks.
I left the room for a moment, Mike.
Wow. Very impressive. So, yeah, some people are on the YouTube are saying there's no sound. That would suck. So, JJ, were you checking the YouTube or not? I guess I will just keep going. Hey, Brooks, how are we doing on YouTube over there? Is there no sound? Okay. Well, what are you people talking about? Whatever. All right. Louis Hernandez says, Burkhead or Chark, half-point PBR. Ew. Ew. That is a rough flex question. So Rex Burkhead, he was kind of trending to being out, but now it looks like he's going to play. He's back now to the three-headed monster of the New England Patriots running backs because James White is back. His wife is not having another baby this week, so he will be playing football. Meanwhile, DJ Chark and company, against Denver. I mean, you would think that Chark is going to see Chris Harris. That's the problem. Denver as a whole is not a scary matchup, but Chris Harris he's a true shutdown corner. He was able to shut down Devontae Adams this past week. Oh, but I'd rather take my chance with DJ Chark than Rex Burkhead. Limited snaps with potential injury, potential to get knocked out again. So I will go with DJ Chark in that situation. Next question. Kenny Pilger. Darren, I am the Walrus, Josh Gordon, or Peyton Barber in the flex. This is wild because my answer is Darren Waller. I'm going to take the safety of Darren Waller. I'm going to take the 7+ receptions for 70+ yards over Josh Gordon and the potential of the big explosive play. It's hard to gauge what's going to happen with this New England Patriots offense because they are much like the Franz Kafka literature, Metamorphosis, the book you have to read in school. Brooks, did you have to read that book?
Nah.
That story? You don't know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
Hey, Brooks, read a book.
I'll try it out.
Then we'll start calling you Books.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Old Books. That one's terrible. But back to the point is, what's this offense actually going to be? It looks like they're back to the super pass heavy guys, but who knows what they're going to do up against this Buffalo team. And the Buffalo secondary is very solid, highlighted by Tre'Davious White. I'm going to go with Darren the Walrus, man. Get him in there, get those safe points. And if you're flexing Darren Waller, it sounds like you might have a tight end you could trade for some very high value. Next question, Sean Joseph Castro. That was not part of the question. That's his full name. Very elegant, very regal. Sean Joseph Castro says Wayne Gallman, Chris Thompson, or Sony Michel in a full-point PPR. Okay, so Michel is out for me of these other two because of the full-point PPR. Chris Thompson is always interesting, and they're taking on the Giants. I mean, you got Gallman Thompson, so you got the head-to-head here. I think I'm going to go with Gallman. He projects at least to be the pass-catching running back. They've used him in that role before. As a rookie, he had something like 45+ targets off the top of my head. And then he projects also for the running work as well, where Chris Thompson still has to deal with Adrian Peterson being a goal line vulture. So I'm going to go with Wayne Gallman in that case. I'm going to go with Wayne Gallman. Brooks, do you have anything to weigh in on Chris Thompson, Wayne Gallman, PPR?
Gallman.
Stunning analysis, Brooks. Stunning analysis. Brett V. I like this question because it's easy. Should I start Mandrews? I believe he means Mark Andrews. Should you start him? Yes. I don't know who else you would start him over. But yes, Mark Andrews, he's playing. He just is one of these guys that somehow It's only his second year in the league, but he's getting the veteran treatment of you don't have to practice at all, and then you come in and you just dominate. I know it was an off week for him this past week, but I think we're back to more man-drews, if you will. I saw Zach. It kind of disappeared there, so I didn't get your last name, but he said Brandon Cooks or Josh Jacobs. Brandon Cooks has been balling out, man. I'm not really even looking at matchups when it comes to Brandon Cooks until he gives me a reason to. It's been him and Cooper Kupp. Robert Woods has been the disappointment of the 3 wide receivers for the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, Josh Jacobs has also been a bit of a disappointment. Aside from, week 1, he was fine. Week 2, it gets his peripherals, like his actual yardage seemed okay, but getting pulled out the field, the groin, sick. Let's see. Let's see what Josh Jacobs can do for you. When you have an option like Brandon Cooks, I'm not going to force Josh Jacobs in. No, don't hear what I'm not saying, which is you need to bench Josh Jacobs at all costs. But when you have a high-level guy who could be a wide receiver 1 on a weekly basis, like Brandon Cooks, at least for this week, I'm going to play Cooks. Ooh, this one's tough. So we'll bring it up anyways. Andrew Garay says Darryl Williams or Sony Michel. So Darryl Williams, of course, the backup running back, Kansas City Chiefs. He is the backup to LaShawn McCoy. We also saw that if Shady is to re-aggravate his ankle, Darryl Williams will be the primary benefactor. Sony Michel has been an absolute stink factory at the running back position. Yes, he's scoring touchdowns, but you never want to see your running back with a stat line when he's carrying the ball for like 1.5 yards per carry. That's bad. Now he's up against the Buffalo Bills. The reports this week have been maybe they're going to try and feature him. Maybe they are. Oh, so do you go with Sony Michel, who always has the weekly upside of the touchdown, or Darryl Williams, who should at least see some work with LaShawn McCoy being a bit nicked up during practice? I'm going to play Sony. I'm not real confident about that one, but I'm going to play Sony. Oh, man. Sony Michel, please. Please save us all. We got where'd you go? V3RW3RS. So, viewers, it's a Twitch person. So, and they got that elite speak in there. Think I don't speak your elite language? 1337, bro. Uber. All right, he wants to know Frank Gore or Melvin Gordon. Frank Gore. Look, Brooks, you've got a good read on the Los Angeles Chargers and their running backs. If that's what you're known for. You're known for your astute book and literature, fine art collection at home. We know you for that, and know you for being deeply connected with the Los Angeles Chargers and their running back situation. How are you feeling on Melvin Gordon this week?
I'm not playing him if I had him anyway.
There you go. So, yes, Frank Gore. Look, you got to take the known touches. Melvin Gordon could come in, get 8 touches, rip off a 40-yard receiving touchdown. Of course, that can happen. But in the game of probability, the game of life, you go with volume. Next question. Robert Alvarez says Sony or Gallman in a PPR. Well, since I basically already debated that, we ended up, it was Gallman or Thompson in the other question, by using an algebraic equation. We can go with Gallman because it's a PPR situation. Next question. Jordo Scam says Trey Quinn or Dede Westbrook in a half-point PPR. It was nice to see Dede finally acclimating, finally getting on board with the swag of Gardner Minshew. Meanwhile, Trey Quinn is super, super capped. So I'm going to go with Dede Westbrook. He had a bunch of targets. He dropped a touchdown. Dede almost had a really, really strong game, and this wouldn't even be close to a question. If he just catches that one touchdown, you're plugging Dede in with full confidence. So let's pretend that he did, and you use that confidence, and you start Dede Westbrook. Next question from Aaron Molinator. Hyde or Darryl Williams in a PPR. Ooh, I wish I didn't read this question, Brooks. Carlos Hyde or Darryl Williams PPR. Oh, man. Darryl's certainly going to catch at least 2 more passes than Carlos Hyde, so we're talking, that's a little 2-point bonus for Darryl. They're playing the Lions. The Lions is Darius Slay out? Brooks, was that an official? You looked that up. Or Carlos Hyde, he's been great for the first 2 games. Week 3, not so great. Fantasy was fine because he scored the touchdown. They get to take on Carolina, if you recall, it was a while ago now in fantasy terms, but Carolina got the crap beat out of them by Peyton Barber. Do you got Darius Slay news for me, Brooks? He's out?
He's out.
I'm going to play Carlos Hyde. I'm going to play Carlos. I'm not going to like it, but I'm going to do it anyways. Brima says Chark or Gallman. That one's easy. I'm going to go with Wayne Gallman. We got Mikey Go, Hooper or Olson. Interesting. That is an interesting tight end question. Austin Hooper or Greg Olson. I think, I lean Greg Olson by one of his frail receding hairline hairs. How about that? So there you go. You get to play Greg Olson, and I threw like a real low-key insult at him. A man who could squash me like a bug, but he's not here, and he can't hear me talking. So ha ha ha, take that, Greg Olson. I'm going Greg Olson over Austin Hooper. Isaiah Mosley. Oh, man, look, we're in week 4. This is fun. Start Devin Smith or Trey Quinn. Yes. Devin Smith. I don't want Trey Quinn. Unless you're in a PPR and Trey Quinn's going to get you 8 points, I'll take that. Otherwise, I'm playing Devin Smith. Devin Smith for the moonshot. All right. Mikey Go also had the Hooper or Olson question. Is that who I read? Did I say Mikey Go? I don't think I did. I think someone is using multiple accounts to spam their questions in here. I say to that. All right, next question. Fat cards. And those are PH, by the way. They're not like the other kind. These are PH fat cards. And he just says Godwin. Hold, please. Chris Godwin is expected to play. That has been the most recent reports. If you are, let's say Chris Godwin, he's an afternoon game. Is that correct, Brooks? Remembering that off the top of my head.
Yeah, 4:05 Eastern.
So if you literally have nobody else to pivot to after the morning games, and Chris Godwin is it, then I may pivot away from him. But the reports were pretty confident that he was going to play, so I'll leave him in there. I'm planning on playing him, I should say. Next question. King Solo, what do I think about Adrian Peterson going against the Giants? I think you're hoping for 40 yards and a touchdown. Against the Giants with Peterson, that could happen. It certainly could happen. Guala03 says, I had Saquon, so do I start Chris Thompson or James White? I would play James White. I have a decent amount of confidence in James White coming back. Fresh body. Oh, so fresh. Well, sort of. Because when you have a new baby, things don't go so fresh when you're waking up every 2 to 3 hours. But James White, him and Edelman are the only pieces I'm really confident in for the New England Patriots. And I like James White quite a good bit here in this spot. So I'm going to play him. Derek Reese says Stafford or Matt Ryan. You got to go with Matt Ryan in this situation because Stafford I went over his problems. He's nicked up. And also want to remind everyone to check out our studio sponsor, Pristine Auction, the best sports memorabilia site of all time. Make a free account there. Use the code BALLERS. You're going to save $5 on your first purchase. Our area is decked out from Pristine Auction. We thank them so much for sponsoring this show. And you can also, while you're at it, check out footclangiveaway.com. There's ways to enter for completely free, sign up, and potentially win a signed Saquon Barkley jersey. We're giving that away, and that is also courtesy of Pristine Auction. Next question. Matthew Sanchez, Curtis Samuels, or Mecole Hardman in a half-point PPR. Brooks, did you catch that Cam Newton video? You should watch it. It's pretty good. And if the people at home watching this, if you didn't watch it, I think it will give you a new perspective and kind of build up some respect here for Cam Newton, where he put out a 15-minute video talking all about his injury and how he's approaching it, what's really wrong. It was really refreshing to see a player, especially from a team that I had to call big fat liars. I mean, a little bit nice finding out that they were indeed big fat liars, but Cam Newton's being very honest with who he is, or with who he is as a person and player and where he is right now. But my point of bringing that up was Curtis Samuel is now back on track to being the player that we thought we were drafting, where those first 2 weeks it was like, holy crap, if this is the Cam Newton we're dealing with all year long, then Curtis Samuel is, fantasy-wise, is basically dead. But now with Kyle Allen, who can adequately perform the offense, Curtis Samuels versus Hardman. Samuels is safer. He has the floor. He has a decent ceiling as well. He doesn't have the Mecole Hardman 2 for 78 and 2 touchdowns ceiling. But I would play Samuel if that were the case. Yeah, well, look at who you're playing. If you need a home run, then you're definitely going to go with Hardman. But if you need just middle of the road, you need points, then that's I would go with Curtis Samuel. Let's see. We just got a couple minutes left. Walter Hasai, apologize on the name there. Robert Woods or Phillip Lindsay? I'm trying to get away from Phillip Lindsay against Jacksonville, if at all possible. So if you have Robert Woods, in fact, you have a way out. Let's see. George H. says, Marvin Jones or John Ross, concerned about Stafford. I am also concerned about Stafford, and John Ross is in a pretty good situation. Yes, it's Andy Dalton in prime time. He's the one who has to throw him the ball. But against the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, I think that John Ross can rebound, so to speak, from last week's bust of a game. Jonathan LaFleche, what do you do with Stephon Diggs? You bench him if at all possible. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I am playing Philip Dorsett over Stephon Diggs in my Dynasty League. However, then Scary Terry McLaurin decided that he was not going to be playing today, so Stephon Diggs is back in my lineup. But if you can bench Stephon Diggs, especially, just Stephon Diggs is a bench period for me. Now you compound that. He's up against the Chicago Bears this week. No, thank you. I'm going to pivot away if at all possible. So you can't trade him for anything. You can't drop him. You got to bench him. All right, I'm going to blaze through a couple commercials. Michael Barr says, Amazon commercial, is that you? It is, in fact, me. We got Fantasy 2018 PPR, Godwin, Fournette, or Shepard. I'm okay. I would love for it to be Godwin, but like I said, if you can pivot and you want the safety of knowing you have your player going and they're at full health, Shepard is a great play this week. Dan Taylor says, Danny Dimes or Jacoby Brissett it and forget it. With T.Y. Hilton out, you got to go with Danny Dimes. Last question. Miko Jimenez says Hollywood Brown or Marvin Jones. You got to pivot away from Marvin Jones, and you go Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown's a weekly starter now at this point for me. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm speaking of Brissett and forget. I'm setting and forgetting with Hollywood Brown. He's in there as a wide receiver too. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast. Thank you for joining me for Sunday Live. I hope I helped you out with some of your last-minute decisions. I have to go tilt now because I have to play either Matthew Stafford or Josh Allen. That's pretty cool. But we'll see you tomorrow on the podcast. Good luck, everybody. And remember, keep it beautiful. Mwah. Goodbye.